Now, as the royal family's official mourning period comes to a close today, new claims are alleging that Prince Harry plans to tone down his autobiography in the wake of the death of his grandmother.
Well, the Duke of Sussex's memoir, due for release just in a few weeks' time, actually, is the first of a three-part deal with Penguin that is said to be worth £40 million.
Well, for more, we're joined by former royal correspondent Nicholas Owen. A very good morning to you. Now,
good morning.
I read this idea that he wants to make some last-minute amendments. In my, sort of sceptical journalist mind, I'm thinking, OK, is that to tone it down or is that possibly to spice it up? Now he's got some new material. But we're being briefed that it's concerns about it being disrespectful so soon after the death of his
I think that's absolutely the case. Right. I can't believe, frankly, that Harry and his wife want to sort of, as you say, ratchet things up. That seems impossible to believe. But toning it down, or just sort of smoothing out some edges. Of course, the problem immediately in the rough commercial world of books and publishing generally means it makes it less of an interesting read. So the money we talk about seems absolutely fantastic. But
but Penguin wants something in return for that.
Exactly.
A lot in return for that. And also, Nicholas, this idea that you can just suddenly say to the publishers, oh, I want to change that page and that page and that page, that takes a lot of doing. If the book has gone to print or some of it has gone to print.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, these days it's interesting. I did, some years ago, quite a lot of years ago now, 10 years ago, I did my own small memoir. And it was amazing to me as a journalist. We've all worked in that sort of frantic world. It took so long from writing it before the thing actually appeared. Now you can actually do things much quicker. So you can make changes in a technical sense very quickly. That's not really the problem, is it? But I do think Harry he must realise that he cannot have a book that is going to sell across the world that criticises the royal family in a way that is bound to be seen as criticism of the Queen. You can't sort of attack bits of it and not the top.
Well, also there's a power shift, isn't there? His father is suddenly much more important, in the form of the King, and he's made his opinions quite abundantly clear to Prince Harry. So I suppose he knows which way his bread is buttered, if you like, in terms of his family inheritance and all the rest of it.
We're surrounded by books at the moment, aren't we? There's another one just coming out, Valentine Lowe, very good. I know Valentine well. He's an extremely good journalist and he's done some really good work on it, and going behind the scenes of what's really happened with Harry and Meghan. Some of the stories he tells, we kind of knew most of the details, but what it does emphasise to me is just how sort of sad and bitter these splits really are. And the thing you take away from it all the time is that it seems to me that Harry, or shall we say Meghan, has got to choose up. Can't go on like this. You can't be both in the royal family and then decide that you're really a sort of commercial animal and you're going to do what you want to, I don't know, go back to the stage. Some talk of Meghan wanting to be the Beyoncé of the UK. Now, that may just be flamming things up a bit, but you can't do that. Sorry, Meghan, that's not on.
But, I don't think most people would be OK with them not being working royals and making a commercial living as long as it didn't trash the monarchy in the process. It's this idea of going and doing all these endless interviews, bad-mouthing the family from which she's benefited so
absolutely.
much.
No, I quite agree with you. That's just the whole thing is that's just not on at all. Not on.
Meanwhile, The Crown, new trailer's just been released, and of course it's difficult as more seasons come out. It's getting more and more recent history and very uncomfortable, I'd imagine, for the King and his family.
Yes, I'm sure it will be. We're very much going to be focusing on this one on Princess Diana. And those of us 25 years ago, we remember what the things that happened there. I'm sure the royal family will be a bit on edge about it, but these things come and go. I was recently in the situation of talking to a lot of people involved with the making of The Crown itself, the consultants. They're pretty careful about what they do. Of course, it's drama, but they certainly don't set out to be inaccurate.
There have been some complete fabrications, though, and I can't think off the top of my head now, but I remember looking certain things up when I was watching it going, did that happen? And then reading that they had, every now and then a little bit of artistic licence.
Of course, they tweak it.
Yes.
They tweak it, yes. But Fulton taking the story in a completely different and wrong direction, they don't do. And the royal family, I think, rather have to accept the fact that people are going to do this. Yeah.